Unless you've been living under a rock, then you would know that Muslim propagandists, dawahgandists, or these influencers, they lie shamelessly. And one such lie is that Islam is the fastest growing religion. Yes, it is the fastest growing religion, but not for the reason that Muslim propagandists would tell you. It's not because Western people are so mind blown by superior Islamic values that they say, your religion is beautiful, let me convert to Islam. They show you some token white people who convert to Islam, and then they use it over and over and over again and say, look, Islam is so beautiful, even white people are converting to Islam. But when in reality, that's not the case. As I have shown this Pew survey from 2017 many times before, that in 2010 to 2016, there were more people who left Islam than people who converted to Islam. In fact, Islam had a direct deficit of 160,000 people to apostasy. That means if 40,000 people converted to Islam, then 200,000 people left Islam, which means there was a net loss of 160,000 people to apostasy. But don't let the facts get in your way. Okay, well, that's just a Pew survey. Let me share something else with you. This is a 2021 Australian census. Look at this. As Christianity goes down, no religion goes up. In fact, it's the exact replica of the line above. Okay, that's Australian census. Let's have a look at British 2021 census. Same story. As Christianity goes down, no religion goes up. If these Christians were converting to Islam, then this line should have said Islam or Muslim, just like this one. But it has just gone from here to there. So it's basically gone from 3% to 6%, which is generally associated with higher fertility rates. Unfortunately, Muslims are the biggest burden on welfare states. Have a look at this. People who identified as Muslims were more likely to live in social rented homes than the overall population. There are other statistics as well. According to the UK's Home Office, they have the least family income. They have the least number of skilled jobs, and they also have the highest number of unemployed people. You would think that they would love the West for giving them a good life, a freebie, because Hindus, Christians, they come in, they get high-paying jobs, they work hard, and they make more money. But Muslims, on the other hand, because they are not keen on getting higher education, etc., they have lower skills, and they have less employment, so they end up getting welfare payments from the government. So they should love the West, but no, they don't love the West. They hate the West even more. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that counterintuitive? So anyway, coming to the subject of this video, Muslims claim that Western people are converting to Islam in huge numbers because of Islam's superior values. And as I said, they lie shamelessly. And thank goodness for ex-Muslims like us who are sitting here to call out their lies. There are 3 reasons why a Westerner converts to Islam. We already know that a big chunk of Westerners who convert to Islam are actually women. And there are 3 reasons why women convert to Islam. Number 1, which is not exclusive to women only, it's a get famous quick scheme, as Andrew Tate has popularized the idea that if you become Muslim, then you would have the unwavering support of Muslims. Why? Because when it comes to following religious dogma, Muslims, unfortunately, are the most dogmatic people. Whether you're in the right or wrong, Muslims will support you. And Putin also understands this. When the Ukraine war wasn't going in Putin's favor, Putin suddenly started making these statements that, you should not burn the Quran. And that made headlines in every major Muslim country, and people turned to Putin and they started supporting him. This is how simplistic and tribal Muslim people are. So if you announce that you've converted to Islam, 1 billion people will start following you. So that's number 1. Number 2, a lot of women actually fall in love with Muslims, like this lady. And as this Guardian report says, around 5,000 British people convert to Islam every year, and most of them are women. But look at this. I am married to a Muslim. And that usually is the case. These Muslim men are okay to have white girlfriends, but when they want to take it to the next level, they say, sorry, honey, I can't marry you because you're not a Muslim. So if you want to marry me, you're going to convert to Islam. Still, a lot of these Muslim men don't actually marry them, but some do end up marrying them. So that's okay. That's the reason why they convert to Islam. Isn't that amazing? That you fell in love with a Muslim man and now all of a sudden you find these amazing Islamic values. Why did you not find them before? It's obviously an emotional reason. But number 3 is what I call chickens for KFC syndrome. A lot of Western women who are disillusioned and disenchanted with their Western way of life, and then they say, maybe my life is so bad in the West. I had my heart broken by that guy, by that guy, by that guy. So therefore, I'm going to try a more conservative kind of a religion, because how worse could my life get from here? So they look for a more traditional looking culture, such as Islam. Okay, well, if he doesn't let me go out, if he puts me in these bin bags, but then at least he's not going to be fucking around. Little does she know that he can actually marry 3 more wives. And if he was living in any other era, then he could have had multiple sex slaves as well. But they tend to ignore that. But that doesn't last very long. A lot of these convert women actually end up leaving Islam. So these are the 3 main reasons. But unlike Muslims, I am not just speaking from my backside. I have some evidence. Look at this video. This video has been doing rounds on Muslim social influencer accounts. Here they're saying that 30 Australian women have converted to Islam because they were inspired by the suffering of Gaza people. Isn't that a great reason? How does what's happening in Gaza have any bearings on the divine claims of Islam? It's like just recently on Christmas Day, 150 Christians were butchered by jihadi militias. Oh, those Christians suffered at the hands of Islamic militias, therefore I'm converting to Christianity. How does that make sense? But listen to this.
So I've been feeling very happy, a lot of peace since I reverted 2 weeks ago.
She reverted 2 weeks ago and she's feeling very peaceful. So something tells me that maybe before that, her life wasn't really that peaceful. She could fall in the 3rd category. Maybe she's had her heart broken. She wasn't happy. She got disillusioned by Western way of life. Again, that's an emotional reason. It doesn't prove whether God exists or not. And it doesn't prove that the voices a man in the 7th century was hearing were actually words of an angel. This doesn't prove any of that.
What's happening in Gaza, and I wanted to get closer to Islam and Allah.
But Muslim propagandists don't care about that. They don't care. Anything that can serve their agenda, it's fine. You might have heard that a Muslim man returns a briefcase full of cash, and when they asked him, hey, why did you do this? He says, I did it because my religion teaches me. These arguments are so stupid. You are basically saying that next time if a Christian returns me a bag full of cash, then I should convert to Christianity. If he says that, oh, my faith tells me to be honest. And to be honest, I'm sure there are people who do good deeds all the time. Moreover, if an atheist returns a bag of cash, you should become an atheist. But again, don't let good logics and reason get in the way. When it comes to being a Muslim, just throw everything, something might stick. That's the policy. But it's not all that. We always say that all of these Muslim converts, they actually end up leaving Islam. I'm actually starting to get a lot of emails from white ex-Muslims, most of them women who fell in love with a Muslim man. When the marriage falls apart, they end up leaving Islam. But there's another reason why these Muslims become ex-Muslims. Listen to this TikToker who converted to Islam. Look what happened.
When I first became a Muslim, I was so excited. I was enjoying my prayers. I was enjoying being Muslim. I felt free. I felt at peace.
These social TikTok influencers, they're bored with their lives. They want something new. They want something. Attention is the new currency that they're always seeking. And as I said, she definitely falls in the first category. If you want attention, if you want hundreds of thousands, if not millions of new followers, just say that you've converted to Islam. I'm telling you, if I converted to Islam, if I announce tomorrow that I've converted to Islam, my subscription will go through the roof. It's going to happen because when it comes to fooling Muslims, they are the easiest people to be fooled. Just say you've converted to Islam. So anyway, so this woman had also converted to Islam, but now she's an ex-Muslim. Have a listen. Why?
And then around 3 weeks of being Muslim, I started to feel trapped. I started to feel like I was in a box. Why? Because I started to listen to everyone around me. I started to listen to people telling me, this is haram. This is the way that you need to practice. This is haram. This is halal. You should do this. You shouldn't do that.
So basically, this poor woman started listening to Muslims after she converted to Islam, and a lot of Muslim dais, these propagandists, they actually tell them. There was a video, I can't find that video. There was this Muslim dai, he was recorded saying that, don't tell them about these aspects like wife beating, sex slavery, multiple wives, polygamy is allowed to men, etc. Don't tell them initially. Once they say the Shahada, once they convert to Islam, then slowly tell them about this. This is why people like us exist. But these Muslims who want clout or who fall in love with Muslim men, they don't want to listen to us. I don't want to hear it. An ex-Muslim is telling me, nope, he must be lying, he must be crazy, blah, blah, blah. But these people actually convert to Islam for emotional reasons. And if you make a decision for the wrong reasons, it's not going to have a good conclusion. It's not going to have a happy ending. And that's exactly what's happening with these people. So anyway, so within 3 weeks, this woman left Islam. But now let me show you one of the most shameful aspects of this dirty, filthy, perverted industry that is called dawah. Have a listen to this victim. Look what happened to her.
This will probably be my last TikTok video, at least for the foreseeable future. Today, I really need to address something that is a huge problem, not only in the revert community, but in the Muslim community online. And I do not see enough people speaking about it. So
we speak about it all the time, honey. You just never paid any attention. You never did your homework. We have been doing that for a very freaking long time. But you fell for propaganda. Finally, you woke up. Let's hope that other women would not fall for the same propaganda that you fell for. That's your fault. That's on you, but thank you.
I'm coming on here today to raise my voice about this issue.
Okay.
To give you some context, a few weeks ago, I started sharing online about my revert journey to Islam. And since then, between my TikTok and my Instagram, I have received thousands of DMs from men with perverted intentions.
Muslim men being perverted? Oh my goodness. How could that happen? That can't happen. Surely there are no grooming gangs in the UK. Surely there are no mass rapes of German women in Germany at the hands of these Muslim migrants. How? This is no way. I don't believe it. There's no way. That can't happen. You're lying.
Some, you could argue, don't know any better. They're like what you would call like village boys, whatever.
Village boys?
But not all of them. And I'm not here to...
Not all of them. All right. You don't know. You don't know all of them. All of them. They don't even spare their own women. Imagine a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. You think that they're not going to say, sister, please marry me. That's the technique. You know what they're saying? They say, I'm going to say sister. So in case if I get caught, I'll say, hey, what's the big deal? You're like my sister. They all work like that. They all say, sister, is that okay if I do ding dong with you? Okay, all right. Look at this. These foolish Western people. I feel bad for them. Like, I'm trying my best to tell them, but these guys are so naive and stupid. One of the biggest motivation of these Muslim dawahgandists for converting white women to Islam is the fact that they can marry them later on. This is the reason why. There are so many horror stories. There really are. They see white women as piece of meat. I'm telling you. I know this mentality. I know it. And they have fun. They do whatever. They use them. Now, that woman has fallen in love with this Muslim man. So she wants to take it to the next level. And then they say, sorry, honey, you got to convert to Islam. So when they convert, they still don't marry them. I know of so many stories of white women who converted to Islam, who married their Muslim partners, and then they were never happily married, and they still saw them as sluts and whores, and then they end up divorcing them, and then they still end up marrying women in their own community and making babies with them. So you silly women, you fall for this nonsense. It's the chickens for KFC kind of syndrome, I guess, because you're disillusioned by Western way of life. Then Islam is not the solution.
Like what you would call like village boys, whatever, but not all of them. And I'm not here to categorize also because I put them all.
Look at this. She's still trying to be politically correct. That's the biggest. This crazy woke leftist ideology is the worst thing that could have ever happened to the West.
In the same category in my mind, creeps.
Creeps.
And in the beginning, I tried to brush it off. I tried to pretend like I didn't see it, which is what my friends advised me to do. But as time went on, it is something that has made me feel physically sick.
Ooh.
It is something that has become a deal breaker with me regarding making content online.
Or even Islam.
If this is what I have to put up with in order to share my story or in order to create content, then this is not a community that I want to be part of.
Ooh, I didn't quite understand. Is that like, I don't want to be a part of this community, or I just want to leave Islam? I don't know that, but I hope she ends up leaving Islam. She doesn't look very Muslim to me. Where's your burqa? Yeah, anyway.
And I want to be very careful here because I know that I'm speaking about a community, the Muslim community, that is very vulnerable at the moment with the situation.
Sounds like a crazy leftist Wokistani, 100%. What's happening with the Muslim community? Every country you look at, there's only one community that has a problem with the locals. It's not Hindus don't behave that way, Chinese don't behave that way, Vietnamese or Koreans, Japanese, no other community behaves the way this Muslim community does. They have a problem with every local culture, no matter where they are, no matter what continent they're in. So no, it's the other way around.
That's happening. I'm not out here to bash anyone, but the behaviors that I have seen in the past few weeks are completely indefensible, in my opinion. I am not an object to be desired.
Oh, yes, you are.
I am not.
Have you read the life of the Prophet? How many wives did he have? Did you do your research? How many sex slaves he had? What was the age of his youngest wife? Did you do any of that research? What is wrong with these idiots?
Some sort of trophy
You are.
to be won and to flaunt around. Like the amount of DMs that I have got, desperate DMs.
Actually, no. Actually, no. You're not a trophy wife, because for a trophy wife, they'll have to show you off. They're not going to show you off. They're going to put these bin bags on you. But then when no one's watching, your entire purpose, your entire existence would actually belong to him. So the only time when you can actually be yourself, let your hair down, that's going to be when no one's watching, when you're alone in a room with him. Sounds like a sex slave to me.
Please respond, please respond, please respond. I'm looking for a revered wife, not just from these village boys, from high profile.
High profile people like what? Like Ustad Numan Ali Khan or Ali Dawah, Muhammad Ali Jaf? No, I don't know. I don't know if it's them, but they're saying that these high profile ones, they're all perverts. So I don't know what is it going to take for these crazy Western women to stop falling for this Islamic BS propaganda. It's the most violent religion. Yes, every religion has bad bits in them, but Islam is the only religion that has kept itself relevant and as dogmatic as possible, because there are bad bits in Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, but their followers have found a way to leave out the bad bits. But Muslims proudly own the bad bits of Islam, like child marriage, like killing homosexuals, like hating the non-Muslims. They proudly own that. So you would think that non-Muslims, sane non-Muslims, would run away from that, but some stupid people actually keep falling for that despite Muslims not hiding these bad bits. Anyways, just to wrap it up, there's only 3 reasons why white women convert to Islam. Number 1, they're seeking clout. Number 2, they're falling in love with a Muslim man. And number 3, they have chickens for KFC syndrome. They're just disillusioned by their Western way of life. So they think, okay, let me try Islam. But I think most of these people end up leaving Islam anyways. So over the next 5-10 years, you're going to see a lot more ex-Muslims who would not only be brown. Hope you liked today's video. Give it a like, share, or subscribe to this channel. If you want to support my channel, you can be my patron by going to patreon.com/HarusSultan, where you can have a sneak peek, early release of my videos. If you can't support me on a monthly basis, then you can buy me a coffee. Until next time, ta-da. If you'd like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/HarusSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.